In this video I have my hands on the TCL 50LE. This phone considered super budget device available through a track phone, simple mobile, total wireless, straight talk, family mobile and safe link. In this video I'll be doing unboxing and review, and this is Variety Stick. Make sure to subscribe, give me thumbs up, and without any further ado, let's find out. Now, I was able to buy the phone from TotalWireless.com. Total Wireless is a prepaid carrier, offer pay-as-you-go service, runs on Verizon towers. Same thing with track phone, simple mobile, family mobile, straight talk. You will be able to find the phone for the same price, which is $59. Also, let me give you a quick look on the main specifications. Starting with the display, it will be 6.6 inches, 20:9 ratio, TFT LCD, 90 Hz refresh rate with 720 by 1612, which is high definition plus. And it seems like the specs for the display is very acceptable, taking in consideration the price of the phone, only $60. Now, the operating system is going to be Android 14, and the phone has custom UI from TCL. We have the TCL UI version 7. For the hardware, we have MediaTek chipset MT6765, Dimensity 700 Helio G36, and this chipset will be considered a low budget chipset, so you guys not going to expect any high performance. We will check the performance later on the video. The phone offers 64 GB of internal storage with 4 GB of RAM, and the phone take SD card up to 512. Now for the camera, we will have two cameras on the rear, 13 megapixel, offer iOS, autofocus, and 2 megapixel depth sensor. The camera will be able to give you up to 1080 at 30 FPS for the video recording capability. The front-facing camera is going to be 8 megapixel, able to give you 720 at 30 FPS for the video recording, while the battery is 4000 milliampere. And surprisingly, this phone comes with charger and able to give you up to 18 quick charging, which is something nice to see in low budget device. Also, it's good to mention that this phone doesn't have NFC, the phone is not IP rated, and this phone offers stereo speaker, fingerprint scanner with face unlock. And now let's do a quick unboxing. First, we're gonna have a look on the packaging and the box. As expected from track phone brands in general, you will see the logo of the carrier, which is Total Wireless, where I bought the phone from. So if you buy the track phone, it will be in blue, so it's going to look different. Straight talk is going to look yellow, and so on. Now, the name of the phone and the main specifications, such as the camera and the battery, up to 28-hour standby mode, which is something nice. Also, we're gonna have some of the main specification for the processor and what inside the phone. Let's go ahead and open the box. Inside the box, we have another box with a plastic lid, and you should be able to see the phone from here. Let's go ahead and remove the lid and take the phone out. There we go. And this is my first look on the device. We have a screen protector. Let me go ahead and remove it. And here's how the phone is gonna look. Also, let's have a look on what the box included. As expected, we're gonna have USB A to C to charge the phone with a wall brick. Should be 18 watt, which is something nice. And we're gonna have IMEI and SIM card information. If you want to activate the phones, you have to call the carrier, provide this information. And about the device, start guide, quick start guide, as you guys can see, and that should do it for the unboxing. Now, the phone has a V shape on the front screen for the camera, so we have a camera notch. And also, if we flip the phone, we're going to be able to see a screen protector for the back of the phone, the main camera, the 13 megapixel flash, and the depth camera 2 megapixel with TCL logo. Let me go ahead and remove this plastic as well and have a look on the back of the phone. There we go. Now, the back of the phone has the matte finish, so you're not going to expect any fingerprint show on the back of the phone, which is something nice. Now, if we flip the phone and go to the bottom, we're going to see a stereo speaker there, because the phone has two speakers, one from the front and one from the bottom, which is good addition in a phone, costs only $60. C-type to charge the phone with 18-watt microphone, headphone jack, and also dedicated fingerprint with the power key volume up down control, and the other side we have SIM tray where we can inject it, and you will be able to add SD card and the SIM card. Now I'm going to turn the phone on, spend time, and come back with more details and information, so stay tuned.
2,000 years later.
And after spending a little while with the phone, let me kick off with the design, build, construction. As expected from any TCL phone, I like the way the phone look, rather to be from the front. As you guys can see, the phone almost has infinity display, which is something nice to see in low budget devices. The phone has very thin bezel, as you guys can see, and the back of the phone also look very elegant. The build of the phone is going to be plastic. One of the problem I have noticed on this phone that there is a gap between the back cover and the battery. You can even feel a click over here, and that reflects low quality for the build of the device. The design looks so nice, but the phone build construction, it seems like very cheap. Now the phone offers fingerprint with face unlock. It seems like the fingerprint sensor itself, it's decent, but there is a big issue with this phone due to the performance, that the phone is very slow and sluggish sometimes. So when you unlock the phone, sometimes you just have to wait a few moments before the phone unlocks. Now if you have things running on the background, you're going to see a lot of delay on the fingerprint, but this is not specifically from the fingerprint itself, it's due to the low performance of the hardware. Now speaking of the display, this display in general is decent, and there is two issues. The first problem will be the brightness level. The phone on the highest brightness and the screen is not bright enough. So if you use the phone outdoor, when you're exposed to the sun, you're going to have a lot of difficulty. Also the angle view due to the TFT screen is not going to be great. Now the screen itself is 90 Hz refresh rate, but you never feel that the screen is 90 Hz refresh rate due to the low performance of the chipset. So being 90 Hz refresh rate is not going to help you a lot. Overall speaking, for the price of the phone, I'm accepting the display quality, but you guys need to remember the display quality is not that great. Now for the operating system, this phone has the latest operating system, which is Android 14 with One UI 7 from TCL, and I have so many problems with this operating system. I prefer stock Android on a phone that does not have high chipset or high processor, so the phone will struggle most of the time, and by customizing your operating system you put more stress on the chipset and you're not going to end up with good experience. This phone also loaded with so many applications from Total Wireless, as you guys can see. I mean, you can remove this, but this take a lot of space from your phone. And what's weird that they have two solitaire games I never downloaded in the phone. I mean, at least give me one game, don't download multiple games. But at the same time, the phone offers such a good feature, such as the Smart Manager. This is a pre-installed application, it's a stock application, come from the software. You have the ability to optimize the battery, and I believe the phone will go ahead and kill every application that uses the batteries. That way you get better performance for the battery. Same thing with the memory, kill the cache and optimize the phone in general, which is something nice to see in this device. In addition to this, also you have Next Vision application, and this application all about the settings of the display. You can adjust the colors, the vividness, you can play with the white balance. Also something nice to see. Overall speaking, my experience with the operating system not the greatest. I would highly prefer that TCL push the stock Android. The phone is going to be a lot more smoother and it's not going to be sluggish as we see. Now for the internal hardware, the hardware and the chipset, it's not too terrible in my opinion. Yes, it's very low budget processor that TCL used to bring the price down, which is very understandable. And the phone, to a certain point, you should be able to make phone calls, messages, open applications. You're not going to expect the best performance, of course. So if you want to play like a low graphics games, such like Subway, Temple Run, you should have no problems. Even you can play Need for Speed, but the phone will optimize the graphic to low graphics and you're not going to see the best frame rate. If you push the limit and go for higher games such as Devil May Cry, you're going to see all kind of problems playing this game. It's not going to be the best experience without any doubt. Overall speaking is acceptable because you have to take the price of the consideration, but if you are in the budget of $100, I would say don't save the $40 and try to find yourself a better phone with higher chipset than the TCL 50 LE. The phone offers 64 GB of internal storage, and it seems like that's a basic in most of the newer phones. 64 is the lowest with 4 GB of RAM. I can't ask more than that because the phone is very affordable. Now for the battery, I was very surprised with the battery performance due to the low specs, of course, and the screen's TFT. So you guys not gonna expect a lot of consumption for the battery. 4000 milliamp, I would say that's more enough for a phone like this. And I was very surprised that the phone took from 0% to 100% within an hour and 35 minutes, which is great. So in the battery department, I don't think so you're gonna have any complaints or whatsoever. Now moving to the camera, I have tested the camera in different light situations, from very dim light situation to medium and outdoor using the sunlight. And surprisingly, that the phone did good outdoor if you have sunlight, and if you have medium light indoor, and the phone performed very well due to the price of the phone, so that was very surprising. And the phone offer autofocus, and by the way, when you have enough light, the autofocus is very quick on this device, and which is very surprising to me. The phone will struggle if you have low light situation or taking picture during the night and you don't have enough lights. Yeah, definitely this phone will struggle. Front facing camera, same thing, under the low light situation it will struggle, but taking picture outdoor when you have enough light, it seems like it's decent. Now this phone able to give you full high definition at 30 fps for the back camera and 720p at the front facing camera, and I doubt you're gonna have the best experience capturing video on this device, rather to be the front facing camera or the back camera. Now overall, speaking about the performance of the camera, I was very satisfied, that because this is a budget phone and it does the job same as any other devices within the same range price. Now if you just all you need a basic phone, you want to do your daily stuff like messages, phone calls, check applications, check emails, play light game graphics, take pictures here and there, I would say this phone is going to be a buy for you, and it's not going to break your bank. That was very much it for that video. Let me know if you purchased this phone already and what do you think about this phone in the comment below. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we will talk to you in another video.